Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Friday sharing of Harmonize, 2Energize. My name is Terry Matthews. I work here at the Scottsdale headquarters of Jin Shin Jyutsu in Arizona. And it's my pleasure and joy to share with all of you from around the world different approaches to harmonizing and balancing life force, which is sometimes known as chi or ki, through the body. And that is really what the art of Jin Shin Jyutsu is about. It's about balancing energy that moves through pathways left and right of the spine and finds areas within itself, which we call safety energy locks, where this energy can be adjusted or not. And we place our hands there to adjust, to allow enough energy or reduce too much energy going through our body so that we come to a place of harmony and balance. Key word here for new people, by the way, welcome everyone who is new to the first time for this. Harmony is the key word with Jin Shin Jyutsu. We don't spend too much time talking about labels. If we do, we talk about them in terms of projects, not problems. And we're always looking to find the way to harmonize them. Because the message we send our subconscious and beyond is important to keep us in balance. If we're forever saying, well, I've got a problem rather than a project, it's a different frequency, it's a different energy. It brings things this way instead of that way. And what we want is this way, but we need to move up to get there. So, today, what are we going to do? 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 Today, I wanted to share from one of the newsletters that I created a few years back on projects of elimination. We always talk about letting go in order to grow. How many of us accomplish that on a regular basis? I don't know. But it's a journey we're on. And the journey continues. Someone or a few of you may be familiar with that term because it used to be the name of one of our courses. The journey continues because it does, because energy continues. And when we think with our bonds, well, how long is this going to take? We don't know. How long is it going to take to harmonize? How long is a piece of string? What we do know is if we begin the journey, we take one step, and sometimes it's just baby steps, we're moving toward a more positive life-enhancing goal than if we stay stuck in that moment and not do anything. Because in a while, we'll just go into retro and we'll move back. And some people have said to me, well, I was feeling great for, the first couple of years I did this, and then, things went back to what they were like before. And I just said, well, did you carry on doing your self-help, your exhale, inhale? Oh, well, not as much. Not as much. We have to, I believe, recalibrate our attitude towards harmony in life. The trees, the flowers, nature works in cycles. It never stops. The sun is always shining most of the time, right, when it has to. The moon is always out when it has to be. In other words, nature keeps within natural law. It's us that decides that we don't always align ourselves congruently with natural law. Don't blame the universe. Look at you and ask yourself, how willing are you to do what it takes to keep yourself in alignment? That's all. And if your mind gets in there and says, enough already, breathe out. Because your soul is going to tell you a different story. The journey goes on forever and ever and ever. And during that time, you may have peak experiences where you feel very healthy, happy, and harmonized. And you may also have experiences where you feel the reverse. That's okay. Boulders need to be removed. And sometimes when we're removing boulders, it doesn't feel good. All right. Breathe through it. So, exhaling and inhaling to let go of what we no longer need. Comes in stages. And, we move the energy towards, by our breath, the light towards transforming the boulders. And we're chipping away, right? And sometimes the chipping will take a day or two, or a year or two, or 2 years or two. But we begin and we chip away. So without further ado, let's have a look at those there slides from the days that I wrote about elimination. Interesting word. Here we go. Elimination. Mm-hmm. So there is Mary with a student. And let's emphasize again, did you know that we all have the innate power to help and heal ourselves? We do. Mary said, and the quote I put on this sheet was, have patience with all things, but first with yourself, right? Interesting. So what kind of practices can we do to help all this? Here they are, figure 1 to 4. And when we do these practices, we do them in 4 sets of 9 exhalation inhalations. For those of you that are new, Mary Burmeister, the master of Jin Shin Jyutsu, talked in terms of 9 representing ending a cycle and beginning a new. 4 9s are 36. Put them together, 3 and 6 is still a 9. So we're looking to end a cycle of perhaps restriction, whatever, to bring it to the next frequency of greater harmony, yes? So this is how we practice. And there's 4 sequences to help us let go of our boulders on the shoulders, baggage, things that we no longer need. And if we don't think too much about it, there are lots of ways that nature will just take care quite naturally of what we don't need. Because this is an innate art. It's instinctive. The body does want harmony. It wants homeostasis. It doesn't want disharmony, because the more harmony that we have, the more we can affect the frequency of everything around us in a harmonious way. Okay, we live in duality, so sometimes it takes a while, but harmony is what we are journeying toward. So the first practice is holding the index finger. And of course, one of the reasons why we lack patience is FEAR, false evidence appearing real. Our minds creating illusions about how quickly we should transform, when we should have, we should have this, or it's normally me. We have to actually connect to the bigger me, which is the we consciousness, the universal consciousness, which embraces all the universal laws of nature, the universal harmonizing energy. All right? And then the second set of practices is sit on your butt, your sit bone 25s, or on your 2s. So, you can sit on your butt or sit on your 2s, and the 2s are on the top of the hip bone. And number 3, just to make it all exciting and interesting, we return to the fingers and we go to the thumb, holding the thumb. And there are all many good reasons why the index and the thumb are very good. In fact, between the pair of them, they help, for those of you that are aware, second depth, the lung and large intestine. What do we do with our lungs? We exhale before we inhale. Large intestine, we let go of what we don't need. And then finally, the last practice, 11 and 25 over the shoulder. 11, close in here, is a small intestine stroke, large intestine, safety energy lock. 25 is bladder. Bladder helps us let go of things. It's on the bladder flow. So, without further ado, let us practice. Here we are again. So, choose either left or right index finger. Do a little bit of research around the sides of the fingers, because with kidney and bladder energy moving up and down here, as well as large intestine around here, we will find that certain segments of the finger tighter areas than others. Or you might say, it's all tight, so hold them all. So it's up to you. Do the investigation, left or right. Sit up as straight as you can. Move your back away from the back of the chair unless you need support, in which case get yourself a cush and tuck it behind your back. And keep your back as straight as possible, but be relaxed. Drop those shoulders, and we're going to exhale. As we exhale, we're moving light energy that enters the back of the head at safety energy lock number 4, the occiput, down through the 15, which is here, to the big toe. I don't need to show you the big toe. It's your big toe. And the energy goes down 4, 15, 7, which is the big toe, by the way, in case you didn't know. And then back from the big toe through the 15, 25, which we're going to meet today, up through that 2, which we're going to meet today, maybe, and then back up to the 4. So there's this continuous spiral of energy moving down the front, up the back, through those 3 epicenters, if you will. So enough from me. Let's begin. Choose left or right index finger. We're going to close our eyes, drop our shoulders, no particular way of breathing out and in through the mouth, nose, mouth. What comes naturally to you is the way to get through. Here we go. As we breathe out, the shoulders begin to sink, and we're letting go of all that unnecessary stress and strife that's accumulated around the shoulders. And we're going to take it to the 15s, where we can bathe it in joy and laughter. That's the understanding of safety energy lock 15. And then down to the 7s, victory, perfect life, power. We've arrived. We've brought energy around the head, which is the heavenly regions, the more subtle realms, all the way down through the body to earth, heaven to earth, and then we bring it back, earth to heaven. Here we go. The inhale. So how did that feel? 8 more times. Exhale. All the way down, 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 down in that elevator. All the way down to your feet and maybe beyond. The soil and the minerals in the soil, the water and whatever, act as conductors of chi or ki or energy. So maybe you go beyond your big toe. And then naturally breathe in. The energy moves up the back, spiraling around the spine, cleaning out the energy centers, purifying as you go. And down. Exhale. You don't want to hold on to stuff, meaning thoughts generally that do not serve. Doesn't mean that you're a doormat. It just means that you look for the harmony in every situation. Is it always easy? No. But with practice, you can make progress. I always say if it takes longer than 9 exhalation inhalations to harmonize yourself, you'll feel it, by the way, as normally peace in the heart or the gut, heart and small intestine area. Then do more than 9. Just carry on until you feel the peace that passeth all understanding. It passes the mind and goes to the heart, and then you feel the peace. Down the front, up the back. Feel the connection with your feet. You might want to imagine you've got huge magnets on your feet, which really rivet you to the ground. And then inhale in order to purify. We're letting go in order to grow. We don't want to hold on to stuff that doesn't help us grow. And we want to favor harmony, positivity. Not because we're Pollyannas, but because that frequency is much more powerful, more subtle, and will bring us to balance a lot quicker. So it's kind of selfish, really. But it's how the universe works. It is what it is, and as it is, so it is. And you're all going to exhale and inhale at a different metabolic rate than me, so you might have already done your 9. Okay, slip into what I call the 0 zone. 9th depth, the space, because it's the space where the transformation can really take place, because we created a gap between our thoughts and what we're manifesting. It's in the gap that we can make the change, right? But most of us are still grabbing hold of the effect of our thinking rather than going back to cause and transforming. Think about that, or rather don't think too long about it. Just be aware of it. Okay, you're different from you were 9 exhalations and inhalations before. Let us go to the next holes, and you can choose between sitting on your tush, sit bones, or holding your hip bones, whichever's most comfortable for you. But they're going to help you eliminate. This is bladder movement as well. So let's do it together. Close eyes, block out unnecessary sensory information. Turn your cell phones off if you haven't already. Put a notice on the door that says, "Scram, I'm doing something." And breathe out. And in. 8 more times. And you could begin to feel the shoulders melting. You letting go of all that stuff. Stuff. Stuff is a 5-letter word. Erase all fear. That's why we hold on to stuff. F-E-A-R. Bladder flow will help you remove fear. If it helps you, you can make up little ditties instead of let it snow, let it snow, let it snow, let it go, let it go, let it grow. Whatever, meaning what works for your heart and soul. Because it's you that's making the connection with the universe, not me. Although I will quickly add, we are all connected. And one day, when the ego's sense of separation dissolves, you'll know you're one with the whole universe. It happens. Happens during sleep sometimes, you have those experiences. Oneness. Everything feels whole. Nowhere to go, just the present. Okay, when you reach the 9th exhalation, inhalation, sitting on your tush or holding your twos, we're going to hold the thumbs. And you know what? You could also, hold your pad of your thumb as well. Then you get safety engine lock 18 for those in the know. Yes. Oh, there. Turn your nose into yours. Enough. 9 exhalations, inhalations. Just breathing out. Turning our nose into yes. Yes to receive. Yes to let go. You knows it makes sense. Oh, oh, mercy. Apologies. Must be a great day. All right, when you've reached the 9th exhalation, inhalation, slip into the neutral zone and just be the observer of how you feel. Oh, and by the way, for those of you that have played with your fingers a lot, you could, if you wanted to, instead of holding index and thumb separately, you could hold them together. Your own little mudra here. One of the mudras is holding all three, so if you want to add that one as well, go right ahead. But you could do that. So let's just observe. And then finally, without further ado, it's 11 and 25. 11 and the butt. 11 and the butt. For those that are new, coat hanger your hand over your shoulder and stick your other hand under your tush. And exhale. And you know, when I get round to the 11 area, it can be very tight. Small intestine energy locks are here as well. And again, with the mind churning up stuff, we might not have made some clarity about something, or we might not have some clarity about something. So just exhale. You might want to dig in there. Mary was good at digging into the shoulders. She always left her mark. So for those of you who experienced Mary Burmeister's treatment, she had a way with her fingers. And if I didn't mention it before, which I don't think I did, we're waiting to feel pulse energy, the same kind of energy that you feel at the radial artery on the wrist. A boom boom here and a boom boom there, boom boom here and a boom boom on your sit bone. That will tell you that your body has accomplished movement of energy from the two different areas. The blood follows the energy, so that's why you can confirm that something's happened. You can feel the blood pulse. Lovely jubbly. And some of you may feel all kinds of sensations in your body, gurgling, this, that, and the other. It's perfectly fine. It's the body energy settling down more congruently to allow the pathway of the Qi Ki energy to move through all the blockages, which is what you want. If after this you run to the restroom, it would be in America or the lavatory elsewhere, don't be surprised. We're letting go. The body has ways of helping us. Does it not? Excellent. Congratulations. 36 breaths later, you let go of some things, hopefully, that you didn't need. Or maybe you let go of things that you were worrying about that you might need in the future, but you don't need right now. Put your thumbs underneath your shoulder girdle and your fingers against that small intestine, safety engine lock 26. Small intestine pathway. Congratulations. Breathe out. Feel the connection with the earth beneath. When you do these practices, remember to have that connection with the ground beneath. Don't wander off like a space cadet, ballooning into the air above you. You got to bring energy to earth, and then earth goes back to heaven, but it's balanced. It's not like up and away and nothing going down. And remember, we're on a journey, as I said at the beginning, just to review. And the journey goes on forever and ever, and as far as I know. The mind likes boundaries. It likes to say, oh, I'll get from A to B in 30 minutes, and maybe you will, maybe you won't, according to traffic conditions. And that's what we're dealing with. Traffic conditions in our soul, heart, mind, and body will allow or inhibit the congruent movement of energy. So we do things like Jin Shin Jyutsu in order to remove, transform, and harmonize. Wonderful. So now quickly, we'll take a quick look and peer at what's happening in the wonderful world of Jin Shin Jyutsu coming up shortly. I'm going to share my screen. Did I say square my sheen? Square my sheen. Tomorrow, Coming to Our Senses, hosted by Chandra, will be a 2-hour webinar presented in English by Jill Pasquinelli and now Sarah Harper. It was before just Jill, but now you get more bang for your buck. They're going to explore the senses through the lens of the 6 steps, first through 6th. There they are, all the relationships. Also talk about the meaning of common sense and how to cultivate common sense, how it relates. All right, register today, 35. Want to use PayPal? Click there. No refunds or purchases of webinars. They include 3 months of online access. And the continuing organic conversations, which is like study group with Jazz instructors. Oh, it's Sarah, Angelic. Oh, wow. Ooh, wow. And then Maria. There's someone different, right? Newer instructor, Maria Miniella. Presented in English, online study groups. 5th begins Friday, August the 13th, and it continues. And replays are also available. Register today. Coming up on September the 17th, 2 days before the Monkeys concert in Phoenix, by the way, if you're into the Monkeys, is 9 Months of Creation, the Story of Our Origins with Anita Willoughby. Prerequisite 1 5-day basics seminar. 9 months of creation and the basic rhythmic pulse of life. Who are we? What's our beginning? How do we grow? Until we understand our origin, foundation, and genetic inheritance, we cannot understand our unique individuality. Class dates, times, 17th, 18th, 19th, times down there. Questions, Deanna Nikaido and Justin McClure. There's her email. There's a phone. Register today, 350, no refunds, blah, blah, blah. But there is 3 months replays. If you missed anything from the past, you can, in the present, get some replays. Click on any of these links, and the fee is there, and you get them for 3 months too. So again, thank you everybody, new and all. new and regular, the regulars. Thank you for attending today. I hope you gained something. I'm sure you did. Sometimes we're not aware of it until later. Just a quick reminder, on Wednesdays now, we also have Harmonize to Energize, but it's the story, the mystery storyteller edition. And I'm still willing and able and happy to receive your stories. Remember, they're the what, why, and how of Jin Shin Jyutsu flows or stories or experiences you had. Roughly around about 20 to 30 minutes worth. Send them to me at info@jsjinc.com. All right. And I'd be delighted to peruse your stories, inspiring stories that you've experienced. And then I'll give you a little bit of introduction to working on what I'm on at the moment, Webinar Jam, on an appointed hour, a couple of days before. Don't be frightened. This stuff is really easy. It seems daunting, but say yes. And then join moi or not on a Wednesday in the future. So until next Wednesday, have a good rest of the day, weekend, Monday, Tuesday. And for those of you that have signed up, you have to sign up separately, by the way, for the Wednesday and the Friday. So if you're not getting the Wednesday link, it's because you didn't sign up for Wednesday. So sign up for both of them. So Liz, that is your answer. You do, in fact, sign up separately for Wednesdays. All right, enough already. Enough. It's September. We're moving into the fall. The leaves begin to fall. Let go. All right? And actually have your fall all the way through the year. Get into the habit of exhaling, letting go, and inhaling and rebuilding and all that good stuff. It will serve you well. Thank you, everyone. Take care. May the universe hold you in the hollow of her hands, his hands, and uplift you to the frequencies that serve your soul, heart, mind, and body on your unique journey. Shani, yes, sign up on the Jin Shin Jyutsu site. Go to online events. It's a drop down. Go to the bottom, Harmonize to Energize. Goodbye.